Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're doing Married at First Sight season 11 episode 5, The Honeymoon Begins. So we're going to start out with Amelia and Bennett, and I mean, what much is there to say about this couple? They of course are vibing as usual. So far wasn't no issues to start out the show with these two today. They just started off their day as usual, laughing and smiling, which is always good. So they had breakfast, and the conversation at the breakfast table was how Amelia was saying she feels so lucky that being involved in this process, she was able to meet up with Bennett. And why he did this, he said, well, YOLO. And he actually thought the L in YOLO means love, when Amelia was like, no, it means you live once. But you know what, to each his own. You get to decide. And with these two, basically with anything in life, anything goes. So they decided to go out and take a swim with Amani and Woody. And can you believe Bennett had his drawers on taking a swim, and Woody was like, really, dude? So they were able to get in and enjoy a swim with each other, and then they were able to sit down and, actually have, some conversation like usual. They are always vibing. It's just interesting with this couple, how the connection is. And Amelia asked him, are you putting on your dress to go to bed again today? And they just cracked up and had a joke. And he was like, yeah, I am putting on my night attire. So, of course, this is a usual thing for Bennett. And, I'm happy about the fact that they are so comfortable with themselves. And that's first. And then, of course, comfortable with each other. So, there was a lot of conversation. I mean, Bennett talked about how, his mom had struggled with cancer. And then how theater was like their religion. And then Amelia basically was talking about how her childhood was pretty happy, except, the fact that her mom was also going to school for being a doctor, and that she had to do her residency as well. So, I mean, just the fact that the communication between these two are good. They're really connecting on how basically their family life is and their past. And I'm glad to see that these two, because a lot of people, I know both sides of the family was worried probably, who are you going to put with our kids? And the experts actually did a great job with matching these two. So again, they decided to go out for a swim. They're jumping off the edge of the balcony. I really like these two, because they're living their best life right now, and they're doing it with each other. So that is so cool. I just hope that they, stay the course and continue on vibing as usual. I mean, they're really enjoying themselves. That waterfall looks nice. I always was looking about, trying to find a place like that myself. But these two get to, of course, go out and, they have some conversation. Then they decided to play with the giant chess pieces. And the thing is, Amelia was like, I usually walk away from a chess match, but because it's Bennett, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to have a good time with playing chess. And, he was talking to her about her residency, or she brought it up at the fact that she might have to move. He seems pretty open to it. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for him. There is concern for him on that issue, but I think really Bennett has an open-mindedness to say, what, wherever my wife go, I might just have to go with her if I'm going to continue to stay married to her. So next we have Christina and Henry. Oh boy, watching these two is like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some moments it seems like Christina is trying to work with Henry. And then, Henry is saying, hey, I'm okay, I'm good. But the words speak otherwise. So they're having breakfast, and of course there's this awkward silence. And, I mean, they're trying to figure this thing out. Henry communication skills is just not there. And I feel sorry for Christina because she's trying to pull, out of him. They were talking about having tequila last night, and maybe that got him to open up a little bit more. But she was saying, "Hey, I need to get out. I mean, we both need vitamin D." I I don't know. I mean, sometimes Christina is really, it seems like she's trying to hang in there, but, we'll see. So they decide to take on a little water fun today, and looks like canoeing. Now, there was a little bit of complaining on Henry's side saying about what Christina wasn't doing and how she wasn't pulling her weight, and, she's not doing it right. And I had to basically tell her, to try to show her what to do, and then he decides to take over. I mean, after he decided to basically calm down, she just basically let him canoe the boat, So I don't know. I mean, Henry can be expressive when he wants to, I think. I don't know what it is when it comes to Christina or even other people that he has conversation with. But it seems like, I don't know if Henry don't know how to communicate. I just think he has selective communication, because there are some things that, as we saw and we'll talk about later in this video, that he was very vocal about. And this was one where he was telling producers about her doing whatever. So, I mean, he tried to get out the boat, and of course he tripped a little bit. And, Christina took it kind of lightly. I know there's been some heavy opinions about Christina, but, I mean, I've seen both sides. I've seen the, digging your heels, comparing, to other folks' Christina, and I also seen the Christina that's really trying to work with Henry. So, I don't know. The jury is still out on her, but as for Henry, he got to get his communication skills together, and I mean, he was also comparing themselves to Amani and Woody, and it's like, dude, worry about, and like Christina said, don't compare to other people. Let's just try to figure our thing out. And she's absolutely correct. They need to figure out what's the deal with their own relationship, and why the communication is not there, and she's trying to connect and everything. So they are still out on their little excursion, and she's trying to keep a smile on their face. As they decided to do the little trampoline thing, and I mean, even he was having a problem with that. Oh, I don't know, I don't really do this type of thing. And it's like, really, Henry, what do you do? I mean, seriously, okay? But he did it. It seemed like he had a good time. And then they went to, at first I thought it was a salt mine, but it was actually some type of mine that had mud that you can actually play around with and swim around in. And Henry just wasn't feeling it. He seems like he didn't want to get his hair messed up, and he's not the type of person that really want to get himself and his hands dirty. So, I mean, he did the event with Christina, but he really wasn't feeling it. I mean, she was enjoying herself. I mean, she likes to experience different things, as she stated before, being that she travels a lot. But, he just wasn't feeling it. But, she enjoyed herself. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But these two really need to find something to truly connect on. I mean, I don't know. Henry, maybe he'll open up his shell as time goes on. We'll have to see in future episodes. But, these two, I don't know. My opinion on them, I don't think they're truly going to make it. I know it seems like Christina is hopeful, but, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so next we have Olivia and Brett. Now, here's the thing. Brett is surprising me, because he seems like he is really, truly interested and excited and attracted to Olivia. They had some conversation about their past relationships. She was in a relationship about 3.5 years ago, and she wanted to take that time off to, kind of get her thoughts together before she get with somebody else. And Brett was like, I was just in a relationship a year ago. Matter of fact, 2 days before we actually got married, I was on a second date. And, you know, for some people, I've heard in other reviews that it might have been a red flag. You know, comment down below if any of those things that Brett said was a red flag for you. The whole thing about him being in a relationship over a year ago versus 3.5 years, that was an issue to me. But, you know, let me know your thoughts. All right, so they were able to start out their day. They're going, you know, on their little excursion. They're doing some swimming in the, I don't know if that's called a pool. I've heard other people call it a pool, but whatever it is, it's pretty, it's blue, it's nice, it looks relaxing, and it looks like a lot of fun. And these two actually, to me, for the moment, it seems like they're vibing, you know. So they also had a conversation about kids and you know, whether or not she would be open to having children. And, you know, the thing is, I guess she felt that, you know, she wanted to take some time to be kind of a little bit selfish and enjoy her life, but she didn't close the door on it. And then, of course, his thoughts was he's open. So they getting ready for the night, you know, he was brushing his teeth, and she was like, wait for me, I want to brush my teeth with you, we should do it together. So, I mean, she's a hopeless romantic. I mean, Olivia is really trying to find the best in this relationship, and he seems to be vibing right along with her right now. So, I mean, there were a lot of skepticism out on Brett because of his behavior at the bachelor party, and, you know, a lot of folks really had it in for him. But I don't know yet. The jury's not out yet on Brett, but, you know, we'll see exactly how these two, you know, are going to end up. So, you know, pretty much right now they were just turning in for the night. You know, they're getting ready to start out their day and do some fun stuff, you know. And, you know, this conversation that they had at the table were basically about how, you know, he really likes her. They both thought that they were, you know, each other kind to each other. They were both cute. That she felt that they were compatible. They were having conversation about, I know Brett was saying that his mom wanted him in the house when the street lights were on. I remember those days. So I know what he's talking about. But, you know, they decided to go on their little excursion. And because these two were previous athletes, they decide to do an obstacle course. So, I mean, she handled it like a champ. She had those little, I forgot that. I don't know if I want to call them monkey bars or something, but she handled it like a pro. He said, you know what, I'm going to actually use the bars instead of the circles. And so, you know, he actually made it through that particular obstacle course, but he ended up with blisters on his hand. Now, I heard some reviews that everybody thought he was faking, but in actuality, he did actually hurt himself, you know. So, I'm glad that the producers and everything was able to patch him up. So, they decided to do another part in the obstacle course. Now, in this one, Olivia couldn't climb up that wall. He did it, but she was like, I'll just go around it. So, you know, they still had their vibe and conversation. Actually, I do see some chemistry. Hopefully, Brett is legitimate and genuine. And, I mean, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, maybe he is. I'm not sure. But, you know, it'll all come out in the wash. As time goes on, we'll see. This is day 3 and day 4 of their marriage. And this is also honeymoon. So vibes are going to be a little bit different. When you get back to the real world, you're really going to get to see who Brett is, who Olivia is, and any of the couples, who they truly are. So, you know, we will see. So if you want to see part 2, it's on the next video. We hope to see you over there.